seeing what is it starting. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Mr. Miller. I have a question.
Today,
Let me ask the question, and it's dovetailing on what we were talking about offline, and then you can do the disclosure.
Yes.
So, you get 2 tickets to Disney World?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
What a podcast from Disney World.
What's that?
We could do a podcast from Disney World.
Oh, don't think it didn't cross my mind. Absolutely, we could. Hey guys, it's I'm Scott, and that's over there is where's she? Right there. That's over there that's Rachel, right there. And welcome to the podcast where we talk about things real estate, and sometimes we have an agenda, and sometimes, well, that's probably the wrong word. Okay, sometimes we have an agenda, but not that kind of agenda. We just talk about things real estate and things that
sometimes we have a plan.
I like that one better.
Today we do not.
Today we kind of have one, but not really. So before we go very far, by the way, I've now had 20 new followers in the last.
That's weird. Something's going on with your Instagram.
I think so too. This is a podcast of 2 professional real estate people, and should not be considered legal advice. Neither one of us are attorneys. We are realtors, and some people like to say realtors, but I'm going to say realtors.
Realtor. There's no law.
Realtor. Yeah, we're realtors here.
There's no law in realtor.
Realtor. There we go.
Taught that early on.
We're realtors here in the state of California. This is not supposed to be legal advice or anything like that. We are realtors, and the thoughts and opinions expressed on this are those of ourselves and nobody we work for, work with, or may be associated with. Thoughts and opinions are ours and ours alone, but we are available to answer questions that you may or may not have.
Yeah, and our opinions might change the moment we say them out loud.
Because they sound different in the ear sometimes when we blurt them out.
I didn't really mean to say that. We absolutely cannot be held responsible for what we say and what you do.
Right. Yeah. Definitely check with your people on that. By the way, we are this time doing a live stream on Instagram, being that my Instagram blew up. So maybe that's why.
Oh, thanks for the heads up, Miller.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Nice to know. So, it's been an interesting week in the world of real estate. I had a phone call from one of my properties that I had for like a year, almost 2 years, that we did owner financing for, and thought it was going to come back to us, but apparently it's not. So that's kind of a good thing, but I was excited to look at that property again. It's a really amazing property, but I'm not going to say much more about it because it's not coming back to me. The feds changed the interest rates, and you and I were talking about this earlier today, is there's a misnomer, if that's the right word, I'm going to say, misnomer, that when the feds drop interest rates, the interest rates drop on your home mortgages, which isn't exactly accurate. And it sounds good.
It depends on the product that you have, right? Some mortgages can change.
Right. Well, absolutely. They can change. I really got to take my ADD stuff.
Oh, God help us.
And just before we came on, we were talking about unemployment and financing. And I used my BFF ChatGPT, and I did it the last 12 months. September of 2024, the California unemployment rate was 5.5. And again, the Fed uses the federal one, but we're in California, so I want to talk about California. In September, it was 5.5, and the 30-year rate, depending on all those particulars, was 6.08 rather, sorry. So 5.5 in September 2024, and then the 30-year was 6.08. And then in August of this year, our unemployment rate is still 5.5, and it's gone back and forth a little between 5.5 and 5.3. April and May was down to 5.3, but August of 2025, it was the 30-year was at 6.56. So again, that's California, not the national. And there's so many different things that come into play with that. You sent an email a few minutes ago before we went online that, do you have that in front of you?
Yes.
It's interesting because to me, like I'm looking at it right now. It's almost, to me, it's counterintuitive from what I feel like it should be. However, that's probably why I'm not on the Fed board, huh?
Yeah, I when I first got into real estate, I was at an office where we had a lender come in every week and talk about the Feds and lowering and raising the interest rates. And I'm looking at something on my screen right now, so I can't see myself on the camera. So hopefully I don't look silly. But I was puzzled, and I know it's most likely basic economics, but in my mind, it's strange to me that, here we go. It's strange to me that when unemployment rates are low, meaning people are working, interest rates tend to stay where they are or go higher. When unemployment rates are high and people are not working, interest rates will then lower. So I think the struggle, and I know that we looked at just California. I don't know if you want to type in really quick with your girlfriend there and ask her what the national unemployment rate or the national employment rate was for August, let's say. But to me, it's a strange balance. People are, in my mind, and I am dyslexic, so maybe that's part of it. I'm dyslexic, and you have ADHD, so we're quite the crew. Squirrel. And I see the squirrel go backwards. But in my mind, it's when people are working, we spend money. We tend to go buy the car. We tend to go buy the house. We go out to dinner a lot. We put stuff on credit cards, and we go on vacations. We go to Disney World. And so it just, to me, it's like, so why? So then, but the money costs more when we have money to spend. And then when employment rates go down, that's when maybe the government or the Feds say, let's give our people a break because money is harder to come by right now. So let's make it cheaper to spend money, cheaper to borrow money. And to me, I understand that that's what happens, but in my mind, it seems counterintuitive, like you said.
Yeah, again, probably why they don't put us on the Fed board. But I mean, we'd say 2.5 for everybody. No, we wouldn't do that.
You get 2.5 and you get 2.5.
And I was listening to the radio this morning or last night, and they're saying that it jumps around also with, and this is obviously not a political thing at all, but with the different tariffs that the government imposes, it creates jobs and makes jobs go away. And then what did I read this morning? The possibility of a shutdown in DC. There was a big email that went out saying, hey, prepare for big employment going away. It's like, okay, interesting.
So this is another thing, and again, not political, even though it's interesting because the current administration, nationally, it looks like unemployment is low, so people have jobs. But our administration is saying, hey, Feds, you better lower those rates. And the Feds are like, that's not how it works. But did it really ever work?
Right. Yeah, in this day and age, with things that are way different than they were even 10 years ago. But go back 20 years or go back when our parents bought houses. When our parents bought houses, they were spending 13, 15, 16, 22% on houses.
Yes.
And during COVID, everything went down to
right, which we've spoken about. That locked up everything. It was a deal with the devil. Is really what it was.
It was, and now I was listening to another report this morning about doing buy downs on houses if the house is not approving. Oh, okay. My BFF is giving me all the information I want. But
finally.
But it's not giving me the way that I.
Do you mean that your houses weren't appraising?
Right. So doing a 3-2-1 buy down is if the house wasn't appraising, you can do a rate buy down so the buyer can put more money in and bring the rates down. But then that creates in my world, that creates a false high. And
you're still spending money.
You're still spending the money, but the rate's cheaper, but they still spent the money and the house didn't appraise.
Spend the money.
Right.
And interest rates on mortgages are that can help you with tax write-offs. So, it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. No matter what, you're still spending the money.
Yeah, you're still spending the money, and appraisals are.
But it can help people get into a house.
They can. And in our two different markets, you were down in the Ventura market down there in what is that? Northwestern Los Angeles market down there, and my market way north or northeast of you. My market's entirely different than your market. Mm-hmm. From our top of the mark here in Ridgecrest is, let's say, about $300,000, and your top of the mark down there is well over $10 million.
There's no top.
Yeah,
I think it would be more interesting to understand what the minimum is, and it's above your top. It's above the 350.
Well, you had that property a couple weeks ago that was $125,000 or $125,000, and that was. But
that was a mobile home,
right? But that was the bottom
with a land lease.
That's true. I had a land lease on that too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
By the way, I wanted to tell you, I didn't get to tell you on our personal phone call because I don't know what happened with you this week, but you were MIA a lot, which is fine. I know I do that sometimes too. But I went by the mobile home and it looks absolutely amazing. They're still working on it. They haven't moved in, but you wouldn't even recognize it.
That's
new floors
awesome.
Are in. It's painted. The kitchen cabinets are being redone. She's doing a facelift on the kitchen, not a whole entire remodel. But just paint and flooring alone can change everything about a home that needs some attention.
One of my customers' kids' daughters said one time, the house just needs a hug.
Yeah.
The house needed a hug. And I love to hear stories like that.
I was so excited to see how beautiful it looked.
Right. It gives, I don't think you'll correct me on this, from a realtor standpoint, when we sell somebody a house, we become invested in that property. And we want to see them flourish and be happy and everything go happy, happy, joy, joy. And we hear it all the time. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you're like, oh, that sounds fantastic. And you go by a couple months later and you're like, oh, nothing's been done. Okay. But that's such an exciting thing when everything's being done.
I've been told I will be invited to their Christmas party. Can't wait.
Wow. And my BFF ChatGPT is giving me interesting. Well, it did the last 5 months. You know what? I'm just going to share.
What are you looking for? Just the unemployment rate nationally?
Yeah, it was unemployment rate last 5.
What was it for August? Because that's when the Feds decided to lower the interest rates.
August 4.3, and interest rates 6.56.
I mean, 4.3 nationally, I don't
That
keep my
doesn't sound
finger
right.
on that pulse, but that sounds really low.
The unemployment rate is holding in the low 4% range. August printed out at 4.3, steady over year. Rates Freddie Mac 30-year fixed in the mid sixes band, 6.30 this week. For every 0.25% change in rates can move monthly payments 3%. Timing offers around dips and can improve affordability. So it's all about timing. And every 0.25% can move monthly payments 3% up or down.
That's a lot.
It
That
especially
can mean a lot for somebody.
Absolutely.
And what's interesting is I was at a family function a couple of weeks ago, and there's some pretty wealthy people there, and a gentleman was talking to me about the interest rates, and it was when all the buzz was happening that the feds were going to lower interest rates, and I said, yeah, it's probably not going to be very much. And he said even 0.25% would make a difference for him, because he's got multiple homes at multi-million-dollar loans. So, I mean, that's kind of a lot of money when you're looking at that much money.
Right.
It's kind of it's relative. Uh-oh, what's happening? Oh,
I just pulled that up so we can actually see what my BFF said, so you can see the whole thing. And that's as of right now from ChatGPT. Yeah. I just think that's interesting. That really sounds low to me.
That does seem pretty low.
Yeah, but that was interesting.
Well,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yep. Woo, came back. It's definitely, when I was on listening to one of those podcasts this morning about interest rates and buy downs, you and I say this all the time: stay in your lane. We're realtors. I am not your financial guru, but I have experts in place that are. Mm-hmm. And I will guide you right over to them, because those are the people that have those technologies. Why did I just get fuzzy? There we go.
Thought it was me.
It's your eyes, man. Is when it comes to real estate, there are realtors that have been doing real estate since Moses was a kid. That's great. They're still realtors. And in my opinion, they should stay in their lane. I don't believe that realtors should give financial advice when it comes to that. That's why we have attorneys. That's why we have financial advisors.
Well, they might know a thing or two.
We may, but still check with financial advisor.
It's conversational advice, and then hand them over to somebody who does it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That is very, very important. I'm switching gears a little bit, and when it comes to real estate, this last weekend up here in Kern County, we had a major storm come through here.
Yes, you did.
It was, I'm going to use the word intense. We had one a couple years ago. What was that? Hurricane Hillary that came through here, and there was more damage done in this rainstorm than we had it in Hurricane Hillary.
Wow.
The roads down to Trona, part of the road got washed out. A town that I love to pieces called Randsburg, which is an old mining town just about 30 miles south of me, got hit with major flooding, mudslides. The old timers had said they had never seen anything like that. There were buildings that were just destroyed and washed out. Apparently there was one building is gone. They spent all week, they being volunteers and the residents of Randsburg, going through and cleaning everything up. But what I'm going through with that is, when homes are on the market and something of I'm going to use the word calamity or catastrophe or a national event happens, everything kind of slows down. And sellers will call and say, hey, why is no one seeing the house? Well, everybody does. I don't like using the word everybody.
You don't have to tell me, sir. We've been through many firestorms. And I had some buyers last summer that were gung-ho. They were going to come up from Studio City. They wanted to get out of the city, retired from the entertainment industry. And we have had 2 major fires since they started looking. And now they're like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, and fires. Like I have properties that I sell down in Kernville and Lake Isabella, and fire insurance is crazy down there. We're kind of jumping around, but when it comes to putting homes on the market, especially when there's national calamities, we had a televised murder happen, and we had a big catastrophe storm. People tend to pull back a little bit. It's not that they're still not interested, but they're pulling back and they want to see what's happening and going on. Last weekend, like I said, we were supposed to have Randsburg. There was so much traffic in Ridgecrest. I wanted to go out there and get a dinosaur suit and say, come see this house. But I chose not to. I live in Ridgecrest, and people might say, look, a big giant dinosaur, get him. So I didn't do that. But there was a lot of traffic because of that. And Ridgecrest is a unique town that I still have to kidnap you and bring you up here and show you this area. If
I were to be kidnapped, that's exactly where I would be taken, is Ridgecrest.
Right.
I'm kidding. That's mean.
I will have to approve the kidnapping with Mark. But if you're on Highway 395 heading to Mammoth, and there are people that go take 395 to Mammoth all the time, you can't see Ridgecrest from the Highway 395. So they're like, oh, it's just, you can't see it. It's just
like in general, ever?
No, from Highway 395, you cannot see Ridgecrest. It's kind of like down in the valley type of thing.
Okay.
But you can't. But if you don't turn right, you'll never see it. And there are people that I've talked to in town saying, "What? I didn't know this was here." And here in Ridgecrest, we have Walmarts and Home Depots and every fast food joint you can think of. Well, probably not every. A lot of different fast food places. And more hotels and motels that you can shake a stick at. And before your brain goes there, it's because we're also the world's largest military base, landlocked. So we have people coming up from all over the world to go to our military base because we have a lot of scientific people. It's China Lake Naval Weapons Testing Center. We blow things up and stop them from blowing. Yeah, I really edited what I was going to say. Going back to when things are happening, buyers pull back a little bit. And I haven't looked it up today, but like last month, the average time on market was 45 days here in Ridgecrest. And I think we looked it up a couple of weeks ago down there, and it was 65 or almost 68 days.
We have discussed that houses are on the market longer these days.
And when national things happen, whether it be storms or political stuff, people pull back a lot. And it's not that your house is not going to sell, but also make sure, and I say this, tell them blue in the face, listen to your realtor and price it accordingly. Squinty face to you. Listen to your realtor. I'm not saying that ever again. I'm never saying that again, just like that. Just because I can. See that hole right there? That hole right there?
Yes.
That's from when we got off the call last week and my shelf fell. Yeah. And it's now sitting over there. I'm really glad we weren't online when that fell because
I wish that
no, things went flying. So things were said that I learned to swear in like 7 different languages. Yeah, it was like, whoa. Oh, anyway, going back to where we were. Sorry, ADD. So switching gears again, just because we can. What?
Okay.
Oh. Where do you see people coming in to your market from? From out of state? Are you seeing them in state? Where are you seeing people coming into the Ventura County area from?
A lot of people are coming up into Ventura County from the Valley and from Los Angeles. They are in droves. They've had it. They want to get out of the valley, whether it's the traffic, the congestion, the heat, the crime, the school district, you name it, they want out of it. And that's where they're coming from.
One of the nice things there, especially like in Thousand Oaks, you have the Oaks Mall, and you have everything you really need there.
We do have the Oaks Mall, however, that is changing. I think we discussed that a while back. It's been purchased by a developer, and something's going to be going on with it. It's definitely old timers here in Thousand Oaks. We love the Oaks Mall. We probably would join a circle of locked hands around it to save it. I'm a Generation X, and in the 80s, I grew up at the Oaks Mall, and it was full and thriving and so much fun. And all of the teenagers and all the kids would go there, and movies and food court and all that stuff. I believe in general, which is sad to me, that the whole mall idea is kind of dying, although they still are building new malls in other places. They're different. There's a lot of mixed use buildings now. So anyways, yes, we do have the mall, but it is dwindling as stores are, as their leases expire, they're not being renewed. So I would say probably a good third of the mall is empty now.
That's
sad.
That is sad.
It's really sad, because I've gone at Christmas, and I was there I go there all the time, but during Christmas and during summer, people are still going there and trying to squeeze out any bit of enjoyment that they can. The kids are still going there. I think it's an asset, and I instead of having a developer come in and buy it and turn it into something different, I feel like it would be great if we can get somebody to come in and make it all retro again, make it an 80s experience. Can you imagine a mall, the 80s experience?
You may have something there. Yeah, I vote yes.
Yeah. So anyways, we do have them all. Other reasons why people come up here, our school district is nice. Our climate is great. We do have a lot of great shopping and great restaurants in Westlake, which is right next door. And so it's a really lovely place to be. It's a good place to raise your family, and it's a good place to retire.
Yeah. It's a little more costly than Ridgecrest.
Yes.
We just a wee bit. Ridgecrest, the people we have coming up, we have a lot of high-tech people coming in, and they will come here and they can do remote work. We have a fairly robust internet system. As watch my internet crashes. We have a fairly robust internet system, so people can do remote. And that goes up and down the whole Eastern Sierra. That goes from Palmdale, Lancaster, all the way up to Mammoth. There's a fairly robust internet service. And we have all these tiny little airports. We have Inyo, Kern, Bishop, Mammoth. We have a lot of people moving into the Bishop and Mammoth area because they can do remote work and jump on an airplane and fly away. And it's central to everything. I mean, I tease people all the time I'm 3 hours from everything. I can be down there in 3 hours. I can be in Vegas in 3 hours. I can be in Mammoth in 3 hours. On the eastern side of the Sierra. If I want to go to Fresno, it's like 5 hours. But why would I want to go to Fresno? Kidding, my Fresno people, love you. So in our last couple of minutes here, some future guests we're going to have on. I'm kind of excited about. Going to have one of our friends two of our friends from Days Gone By, Mr. E.J. LeClaire, who's a realtor there in your neck of the woods, and Mr. Carl Knoll, who's going to be talking about, I think we pinned him down today, finally.
Me, yes. In October.
You pinned him down today.
I did.
I think you liked it. I don't know. And I was able to talk to our chief of police here in Ridgecrest, and when I talked to the chief, he is a relatively new chief here in Ridgecrest. He came in from the Central Valley, And he's like, what am I going to talk about? And I said, you're going to talk about personal safety and real estate safety. He's like, oh, I can do that. So having the chief of police on from Ridgecrest, Carl talking about trusts. It's such a hard word for me to say, trusts. And EJ, who is also a realtor, and has just an amazing story that he has on his podcast. And I'm like the silly guy. It's called the
Spencer Files.
Spencer Files. You can find that on anything you like on your favorite podcast, the Spencer Files. It is riveting, and it takes it in small bites, like 20-minute segments. And he starts his season 2 here in a couple of weeks. So I encourage you to go check that out. And we'll have some other people on. And maybe in November, we'll even do a podcast from Florida. But we'll have to discuss that. We'll discuss that later.
Interview Mickey Mouse.
Ooh, wouldn't that be fun? Wait, can I talk to... Never mind.
How much is that mouse house?
Yeah. What did I just see? Oh, yeah, never mind. So, Coolio, well, listen, on that note, I will end this stream. And hey, before I do that, Rachel, how do people talk to you? And don't say
I don't know. How do they talk to me?
Like this. Hello, Rachel.
My website is rachelmoreno.gratishomes.com. My email is rachel@gratishomes.com.
That's awesome. And I am changing my sellingkern.com because I don't like that one. You can reach me at homeswithscottkmiller.com is my website, or Scott Miller at epique.me, which will be changing soon to an actual .com. With that, Rachel, until next week at the same real estate time and real estate channel, well, give or take a minute or 5 either way, depending on how much we're talking before. Because as you said, I was running around like a chicken all week. So wait, do chickens run? Only across the road. Very well, Rachel, until next time, we will talk soon.
Only when they lose their heads, Scott.
We'll talk soon. Until next time.
Bye.